You're such an asshole.
Oh, tired, beleaguered Cappy, spreading the good word of the truth that no one wants to take, because who likes eating broccoli when you can have yourself some chocolate ice cream? Our good buddy, I lost it. Where'd it go? Dre had a nonstop Dre, our patron saint donator. He said, "Greetings, General Fappy Seed, brave and stunning cisgendered privileged white male, influencer, life coach, sage of rage and misanthropy, author of Who Hurt You? A Bitter Way and Tale. They say Common Sense, the New Hate Speech, the New Father's Government, and the bestseller Stoicism, How to Actually Enjoy the Decline. This request is simple. Follow your heart and the passion finally at last to do a Clary original on any topic. Thanks for helping young whippersnappers like me with your boomer vision." Great. We have one person we help. Maybe you and Juan and a couple other people. I think we've helped out 5 whole people, which is more than Democrats ever did. All right. So this is one I want to do for a little bit because I had a spate. I think it's because school's starting up again. I had a spate of kids who are coming up on their sophomore year in college, or they're high schoolers, but usually they're 19 or 20. And they're like, "I majored in this, but I didn't want to major in this. Or I got a degree in this, but I didn't want it. It's worthless. Now what do I do? What do I do?" And it gets me real pissed off, guys. Not to my regular eye. You guys know this. But I don't care how brainwashed the socialists and the race baiters and the haters and your teachers and your parents and the media and Cardi B get you. There has to be a brain somewhere among every kid who can make it out of high school and into college. Can we admit that you don't have to be a genius, especially today, to go to college, but you do need an IQ of about 100. You need to be average. You need to have some common sense. You must have passed math with okay grade. I'm not saying you did Calc 3, but you understand things, right? Costs and consequences. And so no matter how thick the brainwashing, and go to the school and the money will fall, and every degree is a good degree. You got to go to college. College. Don't you guys sit down and think a little bit about what you want to do before you embark on college? Like, before you spend 4 years, it's like 20%, that's 22.5% of your life, I think, by the age you're 18. Like a fifth and change of your life in an investment. Like, you just went through your mandatory 13-year prison sentence called public school. So K through 12, you're stuck to prison. And when you get older, you'll realize it was prison, and you'll learn to hate teachers like I do. Now you got to go back for another 4 years. And this time you get to pay. Like, it's not just your life you're giving up, which is a payment unto itself. And these are good years. These are your youth. Best health, best looking, best everything. You climb mountains, you get drink, you're fine the next day, no hangovers. You're supermen. You're superwomen. And so you're going to waste these 4 precious years of your life studying the most worthless crap. Something you don't know where it's leading. And then you're going to spend money on it anywhere between maybe $30,000 on the cheap end to upwards of $200,000 on the expensive end. And then you graduate, and then after your youth is pretty much all gone, the majority of your youth, I'd say at 30, that's done youth. 30 to 50, 55, that's middle age. Maybe 30 to 60 is middle age. But 30, it's over. You're not young anymore. Heaven help you if you're one of these idiots that goes to grad school for something worthless because you couldn't find a job with your bachelor's degree, so you double down on that worthless degree with a master's degree. So now you're 27. You pissed away your youth. Now, 13 years of it was stolen from you by your parents, by your teachers, and I'll point out the Democrats because they're the ones like, oh, public education, oh my gosh, you're so then you're more or less forced to waste 4 years of your life, your youth there, and go into debt for it. And you're telling me at 17 years old, you kind of got, you're a solid C plus student, B minus student like me. You didn't stop to ask, what should I do for a living? Because I get these kids, young men and women coming in saying, "Hey, Cappy," and usually this is accidentally the best thing. Like I just had it this morning. It says like, "I'm 19 and I didn't want to go to college because I didn't know what I wanted to do." I'm like, that's the smartest thing you can possibly do. You're smarter than the valedictorian. You are, because you don't know what to do. So don't go to college. But for every one of those rare people, and by the way, these poor boys and girls, they think they're idiots. They think they're morons because they didn't go to college. Meanwhile, this kid, he was a truck driver. I had another kid like this. He was 21. His dad taught him how to be a mechanic. He was wrenching on cars. He was making 60 grand a year. He had 50,000 in the bank. He had no debt, and he still felt bad because all of his friends were graduating from college and he didn't attend. I'm like, kid, the whole point of going to college is to make 60 grand a year and then 50 grand. And you did that before 22. You did that without a college degree. You didn't waste your time. You have 4 years on your quote college educated peers, yet you feel bad. So maybe the brainwashing and indoctrination is that powerful, that total, that encompassing, that your logic, like, well, I don't even know what I want to do. Shouldn't I take a gap year? Should I take a year off to figure out what I want to do? Maybe I'm just sick of school and maybe I want to go work, make some money, go get laid, smoke some cigarettes, live life a little before I have to go plug myself back into the matrix at $3,000 a credit or whatever it'll be next year. That's smart. Take the time off there. But before you even get to the point of high school graduation, about 16, 17, come on, you guys got your pubes. Your brain's kind of, you're not like a little infant, not aware it's alive. You're cognizant, you're aware, you're awake. Do you think maybe you might want to study a little bit, spend some time researching what you want to do? Now, admittedly, the liars in your life, that'd be your teachers, guidance counselors, and parents, and media. Follow your heart and the money will follow. And then 80% of you idiots go major in the liberal arts because it sounds fun. I want to work with children. I want to save the world. I want to change lives. I want to save the environment. Never once giving a second of thought as to the employability, or like, you wonder why teachers are so lowly paid. It's because literally millions of education majors graduate every year. Millions. I don't even think we get a million electrical engineer major. What? Maybe a couple 100,000, maybe. Okay, math is hard. But none of you give a thought about what you should do in life, what you want to do in life, and what you can do in life. Oh, it's all about what you want to do. I know. I follow my heart. Money will follow. Follow my heart. Follow my heart. Money will follow. Any degree is a good degree. Bail me out of my student loans. Evil Republicans in the Senate. So you go waste your life in school, then you graduate with a worthless degree. And now you're in the exact same situation as you were when you were 17 or 18. I don't know what to do. My political science degree, I don't know what to do. Got a degree in finance. I'm just a sales guy. I'm customer service. I don't know what to do. What kind of crazy idea? I know. It's sad. This asshole, a professional asshole, cares more about you guys than your own damn parents. How about y'all sit the F down and research different professions and what they pay? How about you do a cost-benefit analysis? 4 years of my prime youth and $100,000 in living expenses and tuition and books and fees and however else you let your blood out to these colleges and institutions. Why don't you make it count? Why don't, before you make the largest investment in your life, if you consider time and money, it's bigger than a house. Absolutely bigger than a house. Why don't you make sure at the end of the degree, at the end of your program, at the end of your education, there's a job? And not just, oh, this is so common. And get a lot of kids. And it happens what? Teachers, cops, doctors, and lawyers. You go through all that schooling. Okay, some a little bit more than others. But teachers, you get your undergrad in education. Then you got to be a student teacher. You got to get your life. You got to teach for a year because teaching's so hard. And they do the student teaching like they're underneath a teacher. That is teacher like, oh my gosh. And they drop out. They can't do it because they can't. It's like, well, don't you remember school? Maybe you should Maybe you should follow a teacher around first. What are they called? Not chaperone, but you shadow. I want to become an accountant. Go shadow Chad Elkins. Debits and credits, spreadsheets and computer screens. Yay. I want to become a cop. Go what? Get spit on. Accused of everything. Oh, you're always the bad guy. You always get shot at. Get arrested because you killed someone unintentionally. Or maybe there's some cops that aren't that nice and they have killed people intentionally. And then the doctors or lawyers, holy cow, that's horrible because you got to go through so much added and extra expensive schooling. All you idiots with your undergrads in liberal arts. And then you go to some law school in a strip mall because that's the only one that'll have you. And then $300,000 in debt later, no real law firm's going to hire you. And you're all social justice warriors doing pro bono work to bolster up your resume. Did you follow a lawyer around? Did you do the research and realize if until you got into a tier 1 school, you ain't going to do jack? All you go, I'm going to become a doctor. My parents, I'm going to become a doctor. Doctor, I want to help people. How about you first volunteer at a hospital? See if you can handle bodily fluids. See if you can see a heart pumping without anything covering it. Had several guys, they go into, I went pre-med. Then I enter, my gosh, do you know that people smell and there's bedpans? I can't do it. I hate people. Well, what are you going to do with a pre-med undergrad? So I know this is going to fall on deaf ears because young people are stupid and they don't listen. They're just like Western women. Unless it's what they want to hear, they will not listen to it. Young people are that way too. So Dre paid me to do an original. This is my original. This is what I wanted to do. My original is to help you kids. And it's too late for the millennials, by the way. Here you go. How not to become one. We talk about it extensively in this book, how not to be basically an effed up generation like the millennials. I mean, truly a failure of a generation. Why don't you, before you invest 4 years full-time studying, 2,000 hours a year for full-time work, for 8,000, let's double that because of the compounded interest on the debts you're going to accrue that you have to work and slave that off. So let's say 8,000 times 3 is 24,000 hours. Divided by 2, is that 12 years? Did I do the math right? 4 years full-time work plus 8 years. No, I'm sorry. I did that. That's, 12 years full-time work to study and pay for your tuition with interest. 12 years full-time work. Can you spend, this is why I got to recommend these people. I graduated with a degree in political science. What do I do now? I don't know what to do. I'm 18. My parents want me to go to college, but I don't want to go to college. That's the smart one. Well, don't go to college. But my parents will force me to. I can't live at home if I don't go to college. So I decided to major in psychology. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Well, that's a pretty expensive price tag for not knowing what to do. 12 years full-time work. 4 studying, 8 paying for it. 4 studying, 4 paying for it, and 4 years working up the extra money to pay the interest on it because you couldn't go to a community college. I had to go to the party school. I had to go to Middlebury. Oh my goodness, all my friends went there. Party! So whether you don't know what to study when you're 18 or 19, you're graduating as a senior in high school, or you foolishly attended school for something worthless and I go, what do I do? Don't come to me saying, what do I do? You got to figure that out. Compared to the 20, I think it's 12 times 2,000. Yes, 24,000 hours. That is the total time cost of going to college. 24,000 hours. Do you think starting at the age of 16 for 2 years, right? You spend an hour. Well, you don't even have to do an hour for 2 years. Let's just say an hour a week. So that's 100 weeks. That's 100 hours. 100 hours of studying once a week a different field or profession before you go to college. This little investment of $100, I want to play video games. It's my dream to help the children. I'm really good with kids. Child, you are 17 years old. You are a kid. I think I'm going to become a child psychologist. Your brain still has 8 years left to develop. You don't even support yourself. Shut up. Why don't you spend an hour a week researching different professions and screw what you like? I know your parents and your teachers and guidance counselors have been lying to you the entire time that you can make money doing what you like. No, you can't. No, you can't. You do what other people want you to do and will pay you to do, like fix cars and program video games and set up computers, lay down road, weld steel. No, you want to be a babysitter. That's it. You want to be a babysitter. You're going to go to school to be a babysitter. Okay, all right. You help with the children's. So if you spend 100 hours, 1 hour a week from the age of 16 to 18 when you graduate, researching a different field, by the way, kids, I know you're all hip with that internet. Google whatever job it is you want to do and BLS. BLS stands for Bureau of Labor Statistics. And that usually they have the title. Welder. They'll show you starting, average, median salaries, what the educational requirements is. It'll show you whether it's worth it. Look up teacher, by the way, and say early childhood education teacher. Look that one up and see what you're rated. You will make more money babysitting. You will. And you don't have to go to college for that. And so that way, before you make this 12,000 hour investment, I'm sorry, 24,000 hour investment. It's so shocking how much time it sucks away. A dozen years of full-time work out of your life. Hey, I found my leftist teacher. I can do anything I want. Spend 100 hours amortized. There's a big word for you, boys and girls, over 2 years to figure out first if it's something that you want to do. And second, if it's something that pays. And then when you whittle it down like, oh, I want to be a lineman, I think, go to the local electrical company, ask them if you could shadow a lineman. Go, you want to know what it's like being a lineman. Wait for it to snow and be sleeting and very cold and windy and wet. And then icicles form on electrical wires. And then go walk around in the forest for a while and freeze your ass to death. That's what a lineman is like. And just that 100 hours, it's the lazy man's way out. If you do that 100 hours up front, you will save yourself out of 24,000, I'd argue you would save yourself 24, what's 2/3? It's 16,000 hours because you're not going to have that much interest. You'll pay off your interest quicker because you're actually making money. You're not going to have to go back to school. By the way, didn't know if you knew this. If you major in something dumb the first time, you get to go back to school. It's like being held back a grade. Grad school, majoring in the same thing your undergrad is in because you couldn't find a job with your undergrad, that's being held back 2 grades and even double the prices. Before you invest 24,000 hours in the most costly investment you're going to make in your life, can you at least do yourself the service of figuring out first if it's worth it or not? You gals will spend more time looking at clothes. You guys will spend more time looking at cars and playing video games. Can you take a fraction of this effing time, 100 hours over 2 years, 1 hour a week, and study professions before you decide to major in them and pursue them? Because that would help everybody. It would help everybody. That alone would probably save the United States around $500 billion a year. It'd save a generation, certainly. It'll prevent you from having the horrific fate the millennials are dealing with right now. Just study, research before you make such a huge investment. And then maybe people will stop sending me these questions like, oh, what do I do? Well, for you, with your degree in sociology, you get to go back to school or trade school or whatever. For you, Mr. Smart 19-year-old who took a leap year and everyone's telling you what a loser you are, you haven't screwed up yet. In either case, you get to go back and spend time sitting down, thinking and researching before you go and make this investment. You got to do the work, guys. You got to figure out first what you want to do, what you're going to do before you do it. And gosh, darn well near 80% of you have got to be just like, I go to college, Kai, you're smart, and parents say go college, teacher too do say so, I go now. Why am I in debt? Evil Republican senators do this to me. Curse you, George Bush. New guy, Trump. I take gun, shoot hole. Ow, hole in my foot, shot with lead it did. Trump. Evil Republicans. And it get tiring, huh? Have you seen what cool hip people the millennials kids turn out to be? I live at home at 37. Mom, Dad, I need more money. We got a family. We're all organic and vegan, and we live off the state insurance healthcare system from the taxpayer, even though we're two-income family. But we're cool because we drink microbrews and still have our beards. Oh, we know so much. Do you, hit younger kids, huh? You really want to be the rebel? You want to be the rebel? You want to be the bad boy? You want to be the bad girl? You want to be a true American rebel? Go to school for STEM. Stay out of debt. Stay thin. Stay hot. Don't have kids before you're married. Make money, pay your taxes, and become a homeowner before you're 25. Oh, wow, rebel. Don't live off the taxpayer. Don't collect the government change. It's just crazy. Oh, let's go through the super chats. Competent man, 32,571 in 2017. Yeah, gosh, it's not even 100,000 competent man. 32,571. Hang on, how many teachers? Education majors graduate per year. Oh gosh, oh my goodness. How many? Yeah, here's the National Center for Education Statistics. Oh, only 2 million bachelor's degrees. All right, I stand corrected. Greatest number who could feel the business. I'm going to become an entrepreneur. I'm going to make it a business. 381,000. Health professions related pro. Okay, that's legit. The nurses and the doctors. Good. Social sciences and history, 159,000. Psychology, 117,000. Biomedical. Engineering, 116,000. Communication journalism related. Where's education? Is that the education? 146,000. 146,000. Business. Oh my gosh. I never saw this data. Thank you, competent man. That just tells you how horrifically overvalued business majors are. And no, you're not majoring in business. All right, so here's the deal, kids, okay? Get this book. This is an old book. It's 9 years old. It would have prevented the millennials from majoring in stupid crap if they actually listened to it. But now they're like all really intelligent with their microbrews getting shut down. Wah. Spend the $12 on this book and the 2 hours to read it before you spend $100,000 of money and 24,000 hours of your life getting out of the dead hole worthless degrees will get you. And all you guys got to do is spend the time to research and figure out what you want to do and make sure it pays. Make sure, but it's not what I want to do. Oh, it's not what you want. No more bullets. Hey, Flyboy. No more bullets. No more bullets? Okay, guess what, Flyboy? 1 bullet left. Yeah, I know. You guys okay? No more bullets. What do you know? 1 bullet left. 1 bullet left. Hey, Laughing Boy. It was Laughing Boy. There's 1 bullet left. Oh, Michael Prevet, $10. Hey, Cappy, between nursing and computer science, what would you suggest for a 30-year-old guy go to computer science? Computer science. Nursing, nothing against nurses. Nurses are great if you get a bachelor's degree in nursing. But there's the not yet quite a nurse. There's your CNAs and your low-ranked nurses and the drama and the BS that goes with nursing you don't want. So if you're going to go nursing, you go nurse practitioner or go home. Same thing with accounting. Go CPA or go home. Because you don't want to deal with the office politics and the BS and the drama. It's just the caddies. You get a registered nurse. I think RN is the ones that have a bachelor's degree. CNA are the ass wipers. Oh my God, Tina, did you hear Amy? Computer science, it's also because you're a guy. Computer science, you don't, if you play your cards right, you don't have to see anyone. You're just programming from a beach. Predominantly guys. It's a science. It's not opinion. The code worker, it doesn't. Now, just like nurses, you're always going to have to keep up on your credentials and certifications. That was one. I knew this gal who did become a nurse, and man, she was always studying for some test. I'm like, I thought you graduated. She's like, I did, but I got all these certification tests. Like the studying never ends. It never ends. So there's nothing wrong with either of them. But if you're going to go nurse practitioner and don't F around. And if not that, I recommend computer science. So then with computer science, I'm worried about the ageism that is that's boomers boomering. Oh, so what? I hate that. Oh, but the ageism. Oh, well, then sit there like a cripple and don't do anything, because that's going to lead to success. Do what you want, man. Those are both fine fields. Both fine fields. I just warn you about the gossip cattiness of the CNA world. Got any more? Oop, there we go. Mr. Highway for $5. I think the problems start in high school. Kids are intimidated by the math required, so they just get by without really understanding the material. I just think you don't have parents there anymore. The teachers are not. Teachers just want their check and they want to do the least amount possible. Nobody wants to push kids or hold them up to standards. Everyone gets passed. I mean, I don't know what it's like in high school now. I mean, do they even hand out grades anymore? I would say it starts way before high school. It starts at home. Are you going to raise your kid or not? Make sure your kid gets good grades or not. If you're not, fine. And then you hand them out. Gosh, good parents say, yeah, we're homeschooling you. There's no way we're going to. And you get your kid out of high school by the age of 12 because you don't need to go the slow. You don't have to go the speed of the weakest link. You don't have to go the speed. And usually the weakest link in the classroom is the teacher. That's usually who's slowing down the class is the teacher, not the misbehaving kid. Kid's probably misbehaving because he's a genius. The teacher's a freaking moron. School is toxic. Just get your kids out of school. All right, there we go. Questions, answers. assholeconsulting.com. If your kids would kindly wake the F up and become rebels, that would shock everyone. Oh, these kids are majoring in STEM. No one's majoring in the social sciences. What's going on? See you guys later. Toodles.